Hi, welcome back to Black Magic Beauty. My name is Trish, and today I'm going to be doing my 2025 introduction for Project A to Z. Now, Project A to Z is a project that was created by the Pantastic Ladies Facebook group, where you essentially pick 26 products to work on from January 1st all the way up to December 31st. And each one of those products correlates to a letter of the alphabet. Last year I did pretty well with this project. I was able to finish up or at least hit my goal on 21 out of the 26 products. So let's see if this year I can beat that. I'm pretty excited with the selection that I picked out. I've got a good mix of both makeup and body care in here this year. A lot of body sprays, so we'll see how that goes. But I am just going to get into it and go right down the list and show you all the products that I'm planning on working on. So for the letter A, I picked out my Augustinus Bader foaming wash. Now this item I have used before. I received this from Influenster for review, but I basically only used it long enough to form a good opinion on it for my review, and then I put it away to work on it later. I love this, at least during the time that I was using it. I love this, so I'm excited to crack into it again. It's not the only cleanser that I have in this project, but I don't suspect it's going to take me a full year to get through one cleanser. Generally, I can get through one in like four to 5 months. And my goal for this one is to finish it up completely. For letter B, I have my Bath & Body Works Blueberry Bundt Cake Body Spray. This one, I have a goal of 50 uses. So I want to use this 50 times throughout the year, and it'll be interesting to see where this ends up after 50 uses. Typically, if I'm using a body spray, I will spray it like a good 5 or 6 times. So I'm just counting one day as one use. I'm not counting the number of actual sprays that I'm spraying with it. So that's letter B. For letter C, we have another body spray. So we have my Snowflakes and Cashmere body spray, also from Bath & Body Works. This one I also have a goal of using it 50 times, just because I think 50 is a good number to get like a really good dent in these products without being overwhelming, since body sprays are pretty easy to kind of just reach for and use really quickly on a day-to-day basis. So that's letter C. For the letter D, I picked my Danessa Myricks Yummy Skin Powder. Now this one, originally I was thinking of just setting a goal of hitting pan, but I started using it again recently and I can already see the pan showing through there, so that seemed like it was a little bit too easy. So I changed it to finish this up completely. I think this is on its last legs. I had this in my purse for the longest time for like on-the-go touch-ups. And then I kind of realized that I just don't do that. If I'm going to touch up makeup while I'm out and about and I'm outside of the house, usually it's just going to be my lip product. I don't really reapply powders throughout the day. So I had good intentions when I threw this in my purse, but then it just sat there for like months and months and months, and I never touched it. So I decided to just put it back in my main makeup area where I have been using it again. One thing that I have noticed about it though, since it is about 2 years old at this point, when I first started using it, it goes on like a balm and then it dried to more like a powder finish. Now it still goes on like a balm, but it's not drying down quite as much as it used to. It will eventually start to set, but it seems to take a lot longer, and it's not setting quite as well as it was doing when I first got this item. So I think it'll be a good idea to use this up and just get it out of my collection. I don't think I would buy it again. It's not really a love. I think I like traditional powders more than I like this, but it does the job and I don't mind it. For letter E, we have my Tarte blush in the shade Exposed. This is one of the only powder blushes I currently have. And my goal for this is to hit pan on it. And then for the letter F, I have an item that pairs really well with that blush. This is my Tarte highlighter in the shade Fantasy. And I don't really wear this as a full-on highlighter. What I typically do with this is I use it as a blush topper. I think they'll go well together. And my goal for this item is just to hit pan in it as well. So that is for letter F. For letter G, I am pulling in the product that I wanted to pull in last year, which is my Givenchy lipstick in the shade Nude Cinder. Now, this is very old. I don't know how old this is. This was gifted to me by somebody, and it was already pre-owned at the time that it was gifted to me. I sanitized it, obviously, but it's also a discontinued item. So even though Givenchy still makes these lipsticks, they discontinued this shade, which is really a shame because it is an absolutely beautiful shade. It's like a grayed out pinky nude, but it is definitely getting up there in age. So I think it'll be a good idea to work on it this year. My goal for this is to use it 30 times. So I'm going to be tracking usage on that. For the letter H, I have my Pharmacy Honey Potion Plus mask. Now, this is a mask that I've used before. I had a little mini size of it before I ended up getting this full-size container. It's a very nice mask. It's very hydrating. It's very warming. It's a great mask to throw on while I'm doing things around the house or while I'm just kind of lounging in the bath. It smells just like honey, which is awesome. But I want to finish this up completely this year, which is probably going to take most of the year, but I am okay with that. And for letter I have my Kristen Florian Intensive Slimming Serum. Now, this item I've had since last year, and by last year I mean about a year ago I received this. And I haven't really used it because I didn't really know how to use it. It's essentially like a cellulite slimming serum. I don't really think cellulite serums actually do anything, but when I look at it, it's a ginger, caffeine, and kombucha body serum, which is very stimulating, so it's great for like lymphatic drainage. It's also supposedly supposed to be good at healing stretch marks. So that's why I decided to pull this into this project. I'm going to see if it works. I'm going to put it on the areas that I got stretch marks during my pregnancy and see if it helps heal them faster. Either way, I want to try to use this up this year, and it's not something that I'm necessarily planning on getting again unless it just happens to blow me away. But if I'm being totally honest, I don't have super high expectations of it, but it's just kind of an experiment. I just want to use it and see what I think about it. Now for letter J, we have my Sol de Janeiro Boom Boom Cream. Now I actually have two of these because my mother-in-law got me a full Sol de Janeiro kit that also included a full-size Boom Boom Cream. This one I had previously and I did already crack into it, but it's still mostly full. My goal for this is to finish that up completely as well. For the letter K, I have my Moira lip gloss in the shade Kitten. This is just a very nice, neutral, kind of mauvey pink lip gloss. I am wearing it today. It's a very easy color to just kind of throw on. So I think this year is going to be mostly the year of the neutrals because I'm not going to have time to be fussy about my makeup, but I'm still going to be wearing makeup. So I think this is a good one to throw in. And my goal for that is to finish that completely as well. For letter L, I have another body spray. I have my Bath & Body Works Iced Lemon Pound Cake. This one is a mini. This one smells amazing, but I do have a full size of this as well, so I want to just use up this little bottle completely. They sent this to me as a freebie when I got the full size spray, so we'll see if I can finish this up this year. And for the letter M, we have my Ultimate Lashes Multitasking Mascara. This is by Ulta Beauty. I am wearing this one today as well. It's nothing spectacular, but it does work. And I'm just hoping to use up this entire tube and get one more mascara out of my collection by the end of the year, which I don't think will be too hard. Usually it takes me between like 6 to 8 months to use up a mascara completely. So even if this is the only mascara I'm working on for the majority of the year, that's okay, as long as it's gone by the time the year's over. And I don't mind it. For the letter N, I have my Native deodorant in the scent Blackberry and Green Tea. I just have too many deodorants, so I decided to pull one of my Native deodorants in to use it up. At this point, I only have Native deodorants in my collection, and I do like Native deodorant. I just went a little overboard last year and I bought too many scents. So I currently have like 6 different deodorant scents. So I'm trying to whittle that down to only like a little bit more neutral leaning scents that I still really like, and just get rid of the extra ones. So I'm planning on completely using up this Blackberry and Green Tea, which means working on it mostly exclusively until it is gone. Now for the letter O, I'm going to be working on my Tom Ford Ombre Leather perfume. Now I love this perfume, but it's a very intense, leathery, just strong scent. So I don't necessarily reach for it as much as I would really like to, and I would really like to get a little bit more use out of it this year. Similar to the other body sprays that I have in this project, I have a goal of using this 50 times throughout the year, which if I add it all together, that's 150 uses between the 3 full-size perfumes and body sprays that I have, and however many uses I have with this, which I still think will leave me some wiggle room to pull in some other scents here and there when I'm getting bored of these, but I do think that's still a pretty good variety. I've got a fruity scent, I've got kind of a light fresh scent, I've got another fruity scent, and then I have this like very masculine leaning, intense, leathery scent. I think getting 50 uses on this is going to be a little bit more difficult than getting 50 uses on the body sprays, just because this isn't a scent that I can just kind of throw on and wear to work. It's more of a like occasion scent, but I still would like to try. So 50 uses for that. Wish me luck. For letter P, I have my first rollover product for the project. And that is my Huda Beauty Proud Pink blush, which I was working on all last year. I did not finish it. I wore this almost every day, and there's still that much product left, which doesn't seem like a lot until you see how slowly this goes down as you're using it. So I decided to roll it in again this year with the same goal of hopefully using it up, which means I have 2 blushes that I'm going to be working on this year. One of them's a bright pink, the other one's more of a nude. I think that should give me a good variety, but I did mark down where it's at right now, and I will continue marking the progress month to month. Next, for the letter Q, I have a eyeshadow single. Now this came from my Melt Smoke Sessions palette that I depotted last month. This is called Space Queen. I had a lot of trouble with the letter Q. I originally was going to pull in my Cutica lip balm. That disappeared and I can't find it anywhere, so I'm thinking it might be gone forever. And I did not have a lot of other Qs in my collection, but I found this, which is called Space Queen. So I decided I'm going to work on this year as well. This isn't a color that I would generally gravitate towards, but I do think it would make a really pretty liner shade, and I might be able to mix it into some colorful looks when I have the time to do something a little bit more elaborate as well. My goal for this is to hit pan. For the letter R, I have my MAC lipstick in trusty old Russian red. Now, I used to absolutely love this lipstick. This was my favorite red lipstick ever, and it's still a great red lipstick. I've just noticed over time, especially I think now that I'm growing my gray hair out, something about the way that that changes my complexion a little bit does make this super intense blue red feel almost a little bit too intense on my skin. So I haven't been reaching for it quite as much recently, but I do want to get some more use out of it. I want to attempt to finish it up in the coming future. And then I can purchase a red that I think is a little bit softer. But in the meantime, I would still like to enjoy this. So I have a goal of 30 uses on it. I'm interested to see how far down on this lipstick that will get me. And that will get me a little bit closer to finishing it up. For S, I have my Surratt Beauty Lid Liqueur in the shade Sato Ume. Now, I've been using this a little bit more recently, and I'm starting to develop a bit of a love-hate relationship with it. The color, I love. The color is beautiful. I love the glass sheen on it. The only issue is because it is a lid liqueur and it doesn't set, it creases like mad. I'll put it on my eyes and it will look beautiful for approximately 10 minutes. And then it just turns into kind of a gloopy mess and it starts like spreading all over my eyes and it starts looking really weird, which is really unfortunate because the color is absolutely beautiful and the finish I think is really nice as well when you first put it on, and it just doesn't last. So the way I've been using it is I've been using it more as a base, and then I've been setting it with another eyeshadow over top of it, which is a little bit of a bummer. I just don't think the glossy effect works well on my skin because I already have oily skin. So maybe if somebody has a little bit drier skin, this would work a little bit better, but for me, it ends up turning into too much of a mess. That being said, as an eyeshadow base, it has been working for me, and the color still peeks through and the color is still really pretty. So my goal for this is to just hit pan on it. And once I do that, then I'll kind of decide if I want to keep it or not. Now for the letter T, I'm pulling in my first nail polish of the project. So this is my Clionadh nail polish in the shade 10 Drops. It's a really pretty pink nail polish with a bunch of multicolored flakies in it. And my goal for this is to use it 10 times, which I just thought was fitting considering the name. For you, we have my second cleanser of the project. I mentioned having 2 cleansers in this project before. This is a firming acid wash by the brand Ultra Luxe. Now my goal for this is also to finish it. I think if I'm mainly working on these 2 cleansers this year, I should definitely be able to finish both of these up and still be able to pull in another cleanser from time to time, which will be good because I ended up with a lot more cleansers than I bargained for this past year just due to getting a ton of them in gratis. So I actually ended up with more cleansers this year than I had last year, even though I didn't purchase any. I think I purchased 1. So for the letter V, we have my Give Me Glow Cosmetics lip liner in the shade Vintage Mauve. Now, similar to my Kitten Gloss, which I think I'm going to be pairing with this a lot. It's just a very pretty mauve, like neutral, everyday kind of color, which I'm going to be reaching for a lot this year, I believe. So I decided to pull that in for the letter V, and my goal for that is to use it 30 times. And for the letter W, I decided to start panning one of the shades in my Cold Moon palette, which is this shade right here called Wolf Moon. Now, this is a really pretty silvery shade, but it's really interesting because it has a slight shift to it that leans almost like a cooler gold. There's a subtle undertone in it that makes it different, and I really, really enjoy it. It's very, very beautiful. So I'm excited to pull this in to kind of break up my neutral looks a little bit this year. Not that this isn't a neutral because silver basically is, but it's just a little bit more fun. And my goal for this is to hit pan on it. Now for the letter X, we have my second rollover item from last year, which is my Zio AOX Illuminating Serum and Primer. This one I had the goal of finishing last year, and that just, I didn't even come close. I still have like this much product left in here. I think part of the issue is because it is pretty potent in vitamin C, and I was having a lot of issues with vitamin C breaking my skin out. I was kind of like scared to use it. So I was only using it occasionally. And then the more I used it, the more I started to realize that it didn't actually bother my skin at all, but it was a lot further into the year that I discovered that. So I just didn't really have a chance when it came to finishing it, unfortunately. So I decided to roll it over again for X this year and see how far I can get with it. But I decided to change my goal up a little bit. Instead of having a goal of finishing it completely, I want to track usage on it and see if I can get 100 uses out of it, which seems huge, but if I'm using it most days that I do my makeup, it's honestly not gonna actually take me that long to do that. And I'm curious to see how much is left after I use it 100 times. It is possible that during that 100 uses, I could finish it, but considering how much product is in here, I actually don't think that's gonna happen. So I'm gonna track usage on this time around and try to hit 100 uses. For Y, we have another nail polish, also by Clionadh Cosmetics. This one is a very, very beautiful kind of blue, purple, gold multi-chrome. It's very interesting. The shade name is called Pastel Yellow ? Which I think is kind of funny, but this is for the letter Y, and I have a goal to use this 15 times throughout the year. And finally, for the letter Z, we have another Zio product. Now, this is my Zio tinted sunscreen that I've been using as a tinted moisturizer, and I do want to finish this up completely this year. So that is everything. Those are all 26 of my items that I'm going to be working on. I think this and my Pan That palette are going to be the main projects that I'm working on this year, just because I know going forward, I'm probably not going to have a whole lot of time to be updating these, but I would like to still do at least 1 or 2 projects this year. So this is probably going to be the majority of what I'm actually panning in addition to my Pan That palette. But I'm pretty happy with the variety that I was able to pick out this year that corresponded with all those letters. So I will update you guys next month on how I'm doing, and I hope you have a happy new year. Thanks for watching.